Hey guys, this is Abhishek from Technics Media, and today we are going to do a quick review of BlackBerry Z10. Is the flagship device from BlackBerry which has been launched recently in India. It has been launched for a price of around 45 to 50,000 Indian rupees approximately. In between that, basically you can this phone comes from the latest OS which is from there, and they call it the BlackBerry 10 OS. It has got a very different UI if you compare it with the old BlackBerry phones, as well as it has got a large number of added features which are again quite new when it comes to BlackBerry users specific. So BlackBerry is actually has come up with this device. They have also come up with this device called Q10, which is going to be available in some months. Right now Z10 is actually available in the market, this device, and this device is quite good in terms of the overall OS which it has, the overall features it offers, and the overall value for money which it gives you. Although it may lack some features, as well as it does have some pros as well, which actually makes this device outstanding, and the overall design of the device is quite good. If we talk about the physical design, it has followed almost the same design language approximately which you see on an iPhone 5. A big touchscreen which is around 4.2 inch with resolution of 768 into 1280, which is again high definition resolution, and it gives you a pixel density of around 355 pixels per inch, which is fairly high. It is a capacitive touch screen, 16 million colors. It is a Super AMOLED screen if you want to talk about the technology. As far as the storage we have on this device, it has got 16 GB of internal storage, and we will tell you how much of that is actually available to the user. It has got 2 GB of RAM, and you have a micro SD memory card slot in which you can actually insert the micro SD card and expand the storage of the device up to 64 GB. So it will support 64 GB memory card maximum. Camera over here, it has got an 8 megapixel camera with an LED flash over here, and it does have some new features like time shift feature, which is actually very good, and we will tell you about that feature later on. If I talk about the maximum resolution of the photos which you can capture from this camera, it is 3264 into 2448 pixels, which is again good. It does have autofocus, LED flash as well. Check that camera review later on this video by clicking on the annotation link. Now if I talk about other features, it does have geotagging, you have face detection, as well as it does have image stabilization like other cameras. Now if we actually talk about the capability of the video recording from this camera, you can actually record high definition videos at 1080p at 30 frames per second with proper video stabilization from the back camera. The front camera is over here, which is a 2 megapixel camera, and it is again capable of doing video chat and other video calls at 720p at 30 frames per second again. Now if we talk about the processor on this device, it has got a Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. The model number of that is MSM 8960, 1.5 GHz dual core processor. The GPU on the device is Adreno 225, and it has accelerometer sensor, gyro sensor, proximity sensor, and the compass sensor as well for navigation. And we have used the navigation on this device, and it works pretty well. Now if we talk about the GPS, it has got an assisted GPS. It does not have a GPS chip inside. This phone is pretty good to hold in one hand, especially because of the back cover is again rubberized in nature, and it has got a nice design over it which gives you a nice grip in your hand when you hold it, and it feels pretty good. It won't slip out of your hand. There is no problem as far as the portability of this device is concerned. If I talk about the weight of the device, this device has got weight of around 137 gram, which is again fairly low and good enough for a smartphone of this size, and it does not feel bulky at all. If I talk about the overall build quality, the quality of material which has been used while designing this phone is pretty good. You have a nice build quality which you can actually get an idea once you have a close look over this device. On the top you have a power and sleep key over here. You have a 3.5mm audio jack. You have a mic here for noise cancellation and video chatting. You have a 8 megapixel camera with LED flash over here. You have a nice back with rubberized texture design, and you have a nice BlackBerry logo which really looks very good, and you have a little indent to actually remove the back cover, and this side you have the volume rocker, and there is a middle button in between which actually will serve as a play and pause button, as well as it will also be useful to launch the voice related feature, which is again similar to Siri and other S voice if you have seen on Samsung, and it does work, but it is not very accurate as of now. And this side we have on the left side in the middle, we have the USB port, the micro USB port for data syncing and charging. You will be able to transfer the data with this port, and you have a micro HDMI out with which you will be able to portray the display from this device to your TV. So it does support, you can say, similar to MHL kind of a thing with this particular connectivity over here. And here we have the 30 megapixel camera. Let me just remove the back cover. Removing the back cover of this device is not at all difficult. It is very easy. You just have to pull the back cover from this side, and once you remove the back cover, you can see the micro SD memory card slot where you can put a micro SD card up to 64 GB. And here you have a logged SIM card slot which will accept a micro SIM. And here you have the battery. The battery on this device is 1800 milliampere hour, if you can see right now, and the battery is good enough in terms of the overall backup, but it won't give you more than 1 day of battery backup. That is something which we have experienced. Now if we talk about the display on this device has got high definition display, which is not very bright, but it is actually very soothing to the eyes. You won't feel the too much of brightness on the screen, but still the text and the rendering of the text is pretty much very clear on this device. I can show you. So as you can see, these are some of the notifications which I have, and I can read the text. I can see the formation of the text, which is quite precise in terms of the overall pixels. I cannot notice any kind of pixels, so the overall clarity of the display is quite nice. Although it is not a very bright display which we have seen in other devices if I compare it with other devices, but the display is very soothing to the eyes. Now if we talk about the viewing angles on this device, we have actually opened a picture which we captured using the camera on this device. This picture has been captured with flash as well as without flash. So let me just talk about the viewing angle, and then I will talk about the camera. So if I talk about the viewing angles are again quite good. They are not very high in terms of the overall wideness of the view. I can see what is there on the screen as of now from this viewing angle again, although there is a very little amount of fading which is happening in terms of the colors which I am seeing. And now if I talk about the camera, this photo has been captured with flash, as you can see, and the flash has actually played a very good role while capturing this particular object. This photo was captured in a dark room with very low lighting. So this photo again has been captured without flash. I see the photo without flash is much clear as compared to the photo with flash. Somehow because of the reflection of this white surface over the object maybe, but I like the photo without flash on this device more than the photos with flash. It has got a very different UI, and BlackBerry has actually removed the concept of a home button, which I actually like. I used this tweak called Zephyr on iPhone 5, if you are aware about that, and that is something which actually removes the functionality of the home button, as in because it gives you this gesture of using the home screen without the home button. And this is something which BlackBerry 10 OS has. On the lock screen, if you slide like this, you will see a nice animation which will unlock the phone, as well as if you take a look over the lock screen, you have the notification for the Facebook, for the email, as well as for the Twitter account, which I have configured in this particular phone. And if you actually slide from the top screen, on the lock screen from the top, you will see a very different kind of functionality, which is the alarm. So from the lock screen again, you can actually set the alarm. This is another very intuitive and very good interface which I have seen, especially for the alarm interface. And then if I talk about the information which you see on the lock screen, you have the time, you have the date. Although the notification which you see over here, if you even tap on them, nothing will happen. These notifications will not be a kind of action which you will be able to initiate from the lock screen, so nothing will happen if you tap on them in case you want to act on any notification. But if you tap on the home screen, it will give you this symbol that you need to slide up to unlock the phone. And once you slide up, you will see this home screen, which has some active frames, which will lift the last recent 8 application which you have opened on this device. So whenever you launch an application, you will see a new frame. This is how you minimize any application, and then you go to the active frames, and it will basically retain 8 active frames. And the moment you launch the 9th application, the first application will go away from this active frame. Now in case you want to kill any of these applications which are running in the background, you can always tap on the cross button over here and then you can kill it. Now if I talk about the camera, or if I talk about the notification, first of all, if I talk about the notification hub on BlackBerry Z10, this is how the notification hub looks like. And in order to actually reveal the notification hub, you need to slide your thumb like this, and then you need to do it like this. So this is how you can actually access the notification, and once you do it, you can tap over here, and then you will be able to read the notifications from different accounts which you have configured on this phone. As far as the accounts is concerned, you can configure a Facebook account, a Gmail account, Twitter account, a Yahoo Mail account, Hotmail account, as well as an Evernote account as well. And they have a dedicated application preloaded on the device, which actually will allow you to sync your notes with Evernote account if you have it. And if I go back again, everything, if you want to minimize anything, you just need to swipe upwards. And once you slide to the right from the active frames screen or the home screen, basically you will see the list of applications which are installed on this device. These are the list of pre-installed application which comes on the device: the contacts, the browser, calendar, you have BBM, you have text message, you have BlackBerry World, which is again the app store, you have the remember application. This remember application is actually will link with your Evernote account, and for this what you need to do is you just need to go into settings from here, and in settings under accounts you need to enter the Evernote account. As you can turn off notification for specific applications, you can turn off the LED which will light up over here, which basically you can turn it off as well. And you do have the option to turn off the vibration, the sound, everything. And you do have other option like voice control. You can control over the voice related feature, which again will get activated once you press this button. So if we press this button, the Siri like application will launch. So what this application allows you to do is you can actually call a contact, you can send an email, you can send a BBM message, you can send a text message, you can schedule an appointment and compose a note for yourself as well. And it does give you this calendar notification as well. This is again fetched from the Facebook. Like, however, it does lack in some of the popular applications like Instagram. They are still not available on these devices. Hopefully they will come soon. But if you talk about other applications like Foursquare, LinkedIn, Twitter, these applications again come preloaded on this device, and the interface looks pretty much similar to the interface which you see on iOS or Android. So this application is again for Twitter is pretty good in terms of the overall functionality. It does give you all the kind of features which you will like to experience in a Twitter app, but this application does not update auto itself in the background when it is running. So you will have to manually launch the application and update it to make sure that you are getting the new tweets. This is something which I don't like. Maybe there is a bug with this application which will be improved later on. You have a story maker as well, with which you will be able to edit the videos which you capture on this device. If I talk about the videos over here, okay, we'll show you the camera samples later on. And if I talk about the browser now, so this is how the browser looks like. The browser is quite good. It is very different in terms of the overall UI you are seeing over here. You have a Bing page which is already loaded here. So right now the default search engine for this browser is set as Bing, and you have an address bar over here at the bottom, which is again easily accessible. And one thing which I like about this browser is that it does support Flash. So you can turn on and turn off the Flash whenever you want to for specific website in case, and you can actually download files within the browser, which is a good functionality which I found in this particular browser on the device. This is how the camera UI looks like. It is a very sleek, very simple camera UI which I've seen till date, and it does have very simple modes. These are the 3 modes which you will be able to go in the camera UI. You have a video mode, a photo mode, and this is called the time shift mode. So basically in this mode, if you are capturing a photo of any person who is actually smiling, and you don't want to miss the smile. So this is a photo of my cousin which I actually took using the time shift feature. And once you take a photo, it will identify the face, and once you have the photo face the face in the photo identify, it will allow you to actually optimize the expressions. You can change the expressions of that face while you are taking that photo. This is again good feature which I have seen in this device. And this is how the interface looks like. You do have the option to switch to the front camera, and you have the other settings over here. The aspect ratio is 16:9, and you do have other scenes as well for different environments, as you can see, which is again quite nice. Now if I talk about some of the camera samples, I can show you some of the camera samples. This is one camera sample of photo basically, which I have captured in normal lighting, and this is another photo which has been captured in low light in a room with flash. So flash is something which plays a good role, but sometimes it does a poor job while the camera is actually focusing on an object. So the focusing might be an issue if you use the flash sometimes. This is how the text messages looks like. The interface of the text message application looks like. If I compose text message, one thing which I like about the keyboard is pretty good in terms of the overall look and feel. It does have these thick lines which actually separates the keys from each other, every line in this case. And once you start typing, it will start learning. So first of all, let me just add a contact where I would like to message. So after adding a contact, I can actually start typing right now over here. And while typing, it does give me all these suggestions, which again, so before I complete the word, it will give me the suggestion so that I can swipe like this upwards and have that word automatically typed. So this actually saves a lot of time. So it does give me all these suggestions which actually are displayed real time when I type using the keyboard. So typing on this keyboard is pretty much fast. You do have the option to add smileys over here, these emoticons, as you can see, so which is again quite nice. The keyboard is quite good, especially, but if you are a BlackBerry user who would like a physical keyboard better than a virtual keyboard, they can always wait for the Q10, which is going to be released and available within some time. So before I actually type the complete URL of my website, we are actually going to test the browser performance. It has actually gave us this suggestion, and let's see how much time does it take to load the website. So it is quite fast when it comes to loading the website. It has loaded the mobile version of the website pretty quickly. The kinetic scrolling is quite smooth on this device. If I do pinch to zoom is again quite fluid. There is no problem at all. And if I talk about the rendering of the text is pretty crisp and clear. As you can see, there is no problem at all, and we do have the option to enable flash in case we want to. So this is something which I like, which is missing right now these days on other phones as compared to this one. And if I talk about double tap to zoom is quite good. There is no problem, and panning works pretty smooth as well. Now when it comes to documents, you do have a docs to go application which will allow you to create documents on the go, as well as you can edit the documents over here. You can edit the Excel file as well as a PPT or PowerPoint presentation as well on this device using this application. One good thing which I like about this application is that it actually allows you to play a PowerPoint presentation on your BlackBerry Z10 with all these effects which you are seeing right now. And it will actually eventually help you to display any presentation right now directly from your Z10, and you can connect this device to a TV as well. So this way you will be able to play the entire presentation from the device connected to your TV, and there will be no laptop, no PC required in this case. Now this is how the BlackBerry World or the App Store which you can think of on Z10 looks like. It does have most of the popular applications which you will see, but still there are many applications which are missing. As per BlackBerry, around 70,000 apps are actually there on the BlackBerry store when they actually launched the Z10. But again, the quality of those apps, as the usefulness of these apps is again which is something missing. There has to be some good quality apps which has to be there on the BlackBerry store as of now. As about the audio quality from the earphones, the audio quality is quite good from the earphones which we have got from this device, as well as the location of the power and sleep key is actually at the top, which you will get used to once you start using this device, but it could have been easy if it has been placed over here. That is something which we miss about this device. If we talk about USB tethering, Wi-Fi hotspot, you do not have these features on this device. For sharing internet, you won't be able to share internet from this device if you have a 3G connection. Now, one thing which we do not like about this device is that if you are opening some application and you are holding the device like this, you won't be able to minimize this application. You won't be able to go to the home screen until and unless you hold the device in the portrait mode, and then only you will be able to minimize it with this gesture. Now, to conclude our review, we would like to say that Z10 is a very promising device, is a very good device in terms of the OS, in terms of the overall interface we talk about. It gives you a very nice interface, very intuitive kind of interface which you might not have seen on other devices till now, because it is completely gesture based and there is no home button which is involved. You do not need to press any button to use this phone, which is something which I like. But there are apps which are missing for this device. The popular apps like Skype, Instagram will have to be there on this device, on this platform. Only then it will be much more useful. As far as the quality of apps which I see on the BlackBerry store, they are again not very good in terms of the overall quality and usefulness, so that has to be improved. Apart from that, the overall interface is quite good, quite snappy. There is no lag of any kind in case you are running a large number of applications in the background. There is no issue at all. And if you want to buy this phone for email, if you want to buy a phone which has a very different user interface, very different from the regular ones which you see in the market. That's all from us right now regarding the quick hands-on review of BlackBerry Z10. Do let us know if you have any questions related to this device. We will keep making more videos about this device, and do like this video if this video helped you in any way, and you can subscribe to our YouTube video channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off.